team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is the Miller's Edge.
And welcome into the Miller's Edge, Tie 1.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art support experts. Oh, and I forgot to mention, also live on YouTube. Hope everybody is doing well. Got a lot to dive into today. Looking forward to it. You guys know football season is it's coming up. So right now we're in kind of that down period. But you know what season it is, Chase? It's golf tournament season. All types of golf tournaments are taking place, especially this month, because it is that little short period right before, summer workouts and everything kicks off. So you'll see a bunch of golf tournaments taking place. Matter of fact, my dad just hosted his annual Giants for Christ golf tournament yesterday. Hopefully the rain was able to hold off a little bit. I know they've been getting a bunch of it. But today is another golf tournament, but this one is the Regions Tradition tournament up in Birmingham. You've got a lot of notable college football coaches, a lot of really just figures in the sports world, period, that are attending this tournament. So what does that mean? Well, that means there's going to be media availability. So we will be getting some media availability from not only Kalen DeBoer, current Alabama head coach, but also former Alabama head coach Nick Saban spoke to the media as well, and even Alabama men's basketball coach Nate Oates. So we're in for a treat. We're going to listen to all those interviews. They're not too long, but we're going to listen to them, break them down, hear what those guys had to say. I know one thing I definitely want to hit from Coach Saban's interview without spoiling too much, but he was asked about the whole new committee that he's been named co-chair of that's supposed to help kind of regulate college athletics, especially college football. And his answer was kind of interesting, Chase. I don't know if you listened to that whole clip and got to that part. And it's not long. It's just a few minutes. But his answer to that was a little interesting, so I definitely want to break that down. Plus, Nate Oates commented on everything going on with his basketball team. Again, they fell a little bit short this past tournament season, but they definitely have been reloading. So that being said, we'll hear from him as well. Per usual, I got to tell you about our friends over at the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Foot pain, knee pain, back pain, they take care of it. I was just telling Chase, I'm dealing with a little bit of back pain. Luckily, I got these arch supports that will help definitely knock it out, because it's not going to last. But here's why I actually have that pain. It's because I've got a dog who's about 130 pounds, and he's been dealing with some hip issues, and he's not moving around too great. So I've been having to kind of carry him around at times, and he loves being around me. So he wanted to come in here while I'm doing the show. So I said, all right, let me bring him in here. I didn't realize how difficult of a task that was going to be to do so. But the good news is, with these Good Feet Arch Sports, it's going to take care of all that. So I'm not worried one bit. Again, if you guys are in any type of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it, they will take care of it. Clinically proven to do so in just 4 short weeks. You can head to their website right now, which you can see on the stream, goodfeet.com. Again, where you can go schedule an appointment, find the nearest location. You just type in that zip or postal code. Or if you're in Tuscaloosa, it's really easy to find. It's right there in Midtown Village, right off of McFarland Boulevard. First-class customer service. Again, a personalized system, 3-step system that's designed to strengthen, maintain, and relax your feet, putting them in that ideal position, which in turn will help get rid of all that pain. I can speak from experience. I've been using them for several years now, and I'm telling you, these things are game changers. You don't have to be a former athlete to benefit. Just anybody that's dealing with some pain, you just don't feel right, you feel stiff, and you're just finding or looking to find ways to take care of it. Well, look no further. Let the Good Feet Store take care of you, just like they take care of me and thousands and probably millions of other people that are wearing these Good Feet Arch Sports in their shoes. Really easy system. Throw them in your shoes, and they knock out all that pain. So make sure you guys check them out. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Not only are we going to break down these interviews from the Regions tournament. But we also will hear from my partner in crime with the Everwood post-game party show, Gray. Again, he will join us, voice of softball over there. We'll get some updates on that. Obviously we're hosting regionals and baseball as well, so we'll get some thoughts from Greg, all things Bama, but especially some softball talk for sure. So all that is coming up. But first, we got to take a timeout. When we come back, we get things rolling, all coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's right? When buying her jewelry, what's right? There is an answer. That's what Fincher and Osmond is so good at. You just tell us what you see in her, why she's so special to you, what makes you wake up with her on your mind. What's right is at Fincher and Osmond today.
I'm Tom Osmond, your jeweler at Fincher and Osmond Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and local routes.
Tim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
When shopping for a new car, you have options. At Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa, they treat their customers like friends and neighbors. Trust them to provide the best advice, pricing, and exceptional customer service. The Mercedes-Benz name is recognized for its quality. You will find an impressive selection of new Mercedes-Benz cars at their dealership. They have over 100 new models in stock with more than 60 pre-owned vehicles available. Visit them at 3200 Skyland Boulevard East, Tuscaloosa, or check out their inventory online at mercedesoftuscaloosa.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly sunny, only a small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 85, the low tonight 65. Very warm tomorrow and Friday, partly to mostly sunny both days. Highs between 87 and 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 76 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. We're jumping right in, Chase. All right, you've got the Regions Tradition Golf Tournament taking place today in Birmingham. A lot of notable faces up there, especially in the sports world, obviously. We've got head coach Kalen DeBoer, former head coach Nick Saban, Charles Barkley. A lot of folks up there, Nate Oates. We're going to hear from all those people, minus Charles Barkley. We're not going to hear from him, but he did have some comments that I definitely want to break down because I thought they were definitely pretty interesting, and it was regarding NIL. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. Again, 12:05, we got my buddy Gray Robertson, voice and analyst over there with Alabama softball. Plus, we'll talk all things college sports-wise, but especially Bama. Again, he is my co-host over on the Everwood postgame party show that we do during football season. So make sure you guys check us out on there. But again, he'll be on with us at 12:05. All right. In regards to this region tournament, Chase, if you guys are on the stream and if you guys listen via radio, you can't see this, but right now I've got pulled up. Chase, you can see this. I've got Kalen DeBoer teeing off on hole one, man. So we're taking a look at his swing real quick, man. And I want to get your thoughts on it, Chase. I don't know if you're a big golfer. I think I asked you one time. There it is. Pretty good. Not bad. I'll be honest. It's not a bad swing. Looks pretty good. Now, obviously, we don't see where it went or what happened with it. But if you guys listen on via radio, don't worry. You can go on Twitter or any of these other sources and find it. But looks like Kalen DeBoer's got a pretty good swing. Chase, what would you rate it from what you've seen?
Rated about an 8. You know, he kind of lost a little confidence after he looked when he hit it. So, like, maybe if he would have kept the face and smiled, I would have put a 10.
Yeah, no, it looks smooth, man. It looks smooth. I wish we could kind of see where it ended up, or at least the direction. But you're right. I don't know. Let me see his reaction one more time. All right, good swing. Yeah, right there. I see what you're saying. He's kind of the little dip kind of makes you wonder if he was like, All right, not bad, not bad. I wonder if Coach Saban swings on here. I think a lot of people have seen Coach Saban swing. He golfs all the time. Let me let's see if we can search Coach Saban swing. Anyway, while I do that, we will hear from Coach Saban again. The biggest thing was him talking about, in my opinion, was him talking about the new commission thing. A lot of people are curious about what that entails, what that means. Right now, we're looking at a picture of his golf bag waiting on him. Very stylish, Chase, with the hat. If I had to bet, I guarantee you put that hat like nicely placed right there for him, man. A pretty sweet setup. I like that bag. I've got an Alabama bag. It was gifted to me, but it's white, so it got pretty dirty. But that crimson bag's pretty smooth. Let's see. All right, I think we did find Coach Saban swinging. And folks in the radio, I'm sorry that you can't see this. But again, if you want to see it, hop on the stream real quick at the Miller's Edge on YouTube. But we're just watching these videos. Here's Coach's swing. He's analyzing. He's taking his time. I'm telling you, man, Coach is just living life. Let's see. I might need a challenge to a game of golf. All right, he's feeling it out. There it is. Chase, honest review, man. What do you give that? Honest review. I'm not gonna lie, man. What do you give? Come on, man. Be honest.
Can't do the GOAT like that. I can't give my real comments. It was a good swing. You know, he followed through. He dipped down, you know. That's all I'm going to say. What about you, Christian?
Hey, man, I won't keep it a buck. I didn't like it. I mean, but I've seen it before. I'm not going to lie. I give him about a 6, man. I give him about a 6. But you know what? The fact, though, is even – and here's Charles Barkley, who's golfing. He's paired up, I guess, with Coach Saban. He allegedly has like one of the worst swings in golf, Chase. But looking at that, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like it's improved. And Yakenji in the chat says it looks better than Charles' swing. I was thinking that, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Charles might have had a smoother swing right there. Now, again, I wish we could really see the results. But anyway, we're just having some fun looking at those. In terms of regions that we actually can really dive into, Chase, since Coach Saban's is probably the shortest, and I guess it's actually playing. We don't hear the sound, but I'll let you pull that up. How about let's go ahead and hear what Coach Saban had to say when he spoke to the media at this golf event, because he did have somewhat of an answer. I don't know if I call it a real answer, but he did field a question regarding his new role. So let's hear what Coach Nick Saban, or former coach, I should say, had to say speaking to the media at the Regions Tradition Golf Tournament.
Right in the middle of the scrum.
How's everybody going?
Good, Nick. How are you, Coach?
Yeah, miss you all. You know that. Yeah. So we're always happy to be here. This is one of the things that I look forward to every year. Great experiences to develop relationships with some of the great players in golf who have great reputations and have been great for the game. So this is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to playing with Charles today. I've always looked up to Charles, and thought he was a great player, but he does a great job professionally in terms of media, which you all are part of. And I certainly respect the fact that he comes home and supports the community like he does. So it's something I'm looking forward to.
How much has the handicap improved since retirement?
It hadn't improved at all. In fact, this is the only game I've ever played. The more you play, the worse you get. It's unbelievable. So, but we have fun doing it. So, down in Florida where we live, they send a limo to pick me up because the guys can know they're going to make money.
Nick, this commission on college athletics has been talked about. What would that process look like?
I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't really know much about this commission. I don't really know what this commission would do. I think we know what needs to be done. I just think we've got to figure out who's got the will to do it. I learned one thing about coaching for all these years that, when you get into a subject like this that's very complex, it's probably good not to talk about it off the cuff. I'll find out more about it. If there's something that I can do to, help college football be better, I'm always going to be committed to do that. I was committed to do that as a coach, to help players be more successful in life, and I would continue to do the same thing now.
Are you worried about the game right now?
Not really. I mean, I think that there's always things that we could do to improve it. I know there's a lot of people out there that are concerned about the direction that we're headed in. But I also know there's a lot of good people out there that can do the type of things you need to do to get it moving in the right direction.
You saw year one under Caitlin at Alabama. What's your expectation for year two where the program goes?
I don't really have an expectation. I know those guys are working hard to do the best they can, and there was a difficult transition with the number of players that moved, new system, new people. Players in the organization had to make adjustments. So I would say that everybody's probably a lot more settled in this year, and I hope they do extremely well.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That was Nick Saban speaking to the media at the Regions Tradition Tournament. Chase, let me pause this Nate Oates one right here because we're going to dive into that in a little bit. When you heard him answer that question again, the biggest thing I took away from that really was, the whole question about the committee thing, right? And we know, we talked about it, he's expected to serve as co-chair for the Trump administration's Commission on College Football, paired up with, I guess, a notable booster / I guess, a guy that started Collective. But his answer was interesting to me, at least. I mean, I get what he's saying too, though, about, in the early stages, you don't want to, say too much because he doesn't know. But it was the way he kind of was like, I don't really know too much about it. It just makes you wonder, like, what extent have they really discussed it? Or is he kind of just going from the standpoint that maybe I shouldn't say much before I learn more? I guess. I don't know. Knowing him, he probably knows a little bit more than he was leading on. But I don't blame him by being a little hesitant just because, you don't want to jump the gun. You just never know exactly how things are going to go. But the other his counterpart is going to be Texas businessman Cody Campbell, again, founder of the Texas Tech NIL collective, and we'll see what they can accomplish. But Chase, did that kind of surprise you that he seemed a little, not like he didn't really know, but did it shock you that he just didn't really have too much to offer? And I guess the second part of that, Chase, do you feel that he was kind of just, I guess, telling them that just because he didn't want to talk about it? I mean, I guess he kind of alluded to that slightly, but I mean, what were your thoughts on his answer to that?
No, not really. I think Nick Saban is a strategic communicator. I've seen it for years. Everything he says at the podium, interviews, it's very much how he wants to put out there, and I don't think Nick Saban would have accepted this role if he didn't know the details prior to it. He's not going to jump into something without knowing the details, what he can do, what he can't do. So because he's a brand, whether he's with UA or not, he's something that he represents for himself, his core values. And then your second part, it's not necessarily concerning. They're just kind of starting this. It's new for everybody. I bet it's new for Nick Saban trying to figure this all out. The reason, hence why he got out of it. He's kind of back into it a little bit. So, but yeah, it'll take some time. I think the more he'll do interviews with it, meet with President Trump and the co-chairman you were talking about, Texas Tech, I believe. Yeah. You'll see more of him kind of smile about it, kind of break it down a little bit. Kind of like it's crazy I'm saying this, but like a politician per se, kind of like know what to say, don't say too much, but more of an effective way, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I think you're spot on, Chase. I mean, you're right. Knowing him, he does not put his name or put his stamp on anything that he does not know about, feel confident in. So you're 100% right. That's a good point. That he clearly he feels good about whatever they've at least discussed. Now, just like anything else, I mean, without it really being, fully in place, obviously there's probably it's a little fluid right now, and that's probably why he's a little hesitant as well. But again, according to the report, they're expected to examine prominent issues facing college sports, like the transfer portal, unregulated booster compensation that goes directly to athletes, the employment of college athletes, Title IX, among other hot button topics. So yeah, and then the other thing that he said that kind of was interesting to me, Chase, was that he the way he said, like, well, we all know what needs to be done. It's just about who's pretty much going to step up and do it and how we get it done. That to me was kind of interesting as well, because I'm like, well, if that's the case, I mean, you're pairing up with the president of the United States. I know he doesn't have all the power. Obviously, you have the courts, the judges. I mean, you got to get things voted and all that stuff. But I'm like, you're in prime position, right? I guess you might just need a little bit of backing, but I'd imagine that right now he's in position to get those things done. I mean, he sounded confident. That part, he sounded very confident. He said, "Oh, we all know what needs to be done." I wish they would have asked him a follow-up on that. Like, what exactly do you feel that needs to get done? Now, I don't know if he would have actually gave them a full detailed answer, but I'm curious what his thoughts are about what exactly needs. I just want to hear him go into detail. Obviously, we all know, like, clean it. Just like with that, just, on the article, it said, like, yeah, we know, like, the issues, but I'm a little bit more curious now, like, how he plans to go about it. Like, what are his ideas? Because we've heard different ideas being thrown around. We've thrown them around hell on this show. And we thought they were some pretty damn good ideas. But I would be really curious. I wish somebody followed him up. But, of course, you see Josh Max in the back. He was, all right, two more. He didn't have Coach talking too long. So, that was that. If you guys got any thoughts or responses on that, feel free to drop them in the chat. You can always leave them in the app inbox where we can read them live on air, or you can always call in 205-342-9904. That was where we just started listening to Coach Saban. Speaking of the region's tradition, we're about to take a timeout. When we come back, we will hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer, who's also playing and also spoke to the media. We'll listen to see what he had to say, break it down, as well as Nate Oates. Plus, Gray Robertson will be joining us at 12:05. Talk some Bama softball, college football, all that stuff. Coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, and live on YouTube. Check us out at the Miller's Edge if you haven't already. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Quinn Dixon. That's got to be my guy, QD. What's up, QD? Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we used to do this like probably about a year ago. We did it for a couple months then. Just got really tied up, but brought it back, man. Glad you guys are enjoying it. We'll keep on growing it too, so make sure you guys share it, all that good stuff. But yeah, and then I don't even know if you knew this, but we're doing 11-1 now too. We changed the time. Let's see what y'all have. More you go off, the worse you get. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong necessarily there. And I don't know if you guys are like this too, but the more I think, the worse I play. Like if I just go up and swing, half the time it's much better than if I sit there and really, analyze my swing and take all these, practice swings. Sometimes I do a little bit of both, but I've realized sometimes I just go up and just hit it. It's way better than trying to. Golf is one of those sports, man. Oh, it's tough. It's tough for sure. And ain't nothing going to happen unless Congress creates some legislation for NIL on this transfer portal. Yeah, exactly. But the good news is, I mean, to me, this is probably, the most realistic next step we've taken because, I mean, he's pairing up with the president, right? And I know you're right. Legislation still has to pass all this stuff. I mean, we all know there's layers to government, but I'd argue that Trump might, not Trump, but Coach Saban probably will be able to earn the respect, earn bipartisan respect is what I should say. Bipartisan respect. Hopefully people take the politics out of things, right? We're not. There it goes. Chase, can you still hear me? I might have lost connection for a second. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure my connection was acting weird for a second. It had me refresh. Let me see.
Machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rental. With a proven track record of over 30 plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205.
Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Regions Tradition Tournament taking place today. So you got a number of interviews coming out from there. We just heard from former head coach Nick Saban. I think the biggest question was his new role as a co-chair in the new committee designed to save college football, college athletics, period. So we talked about that a little bit again. If you guys got any comments or response to this stuff, 205-342-9904 is the number to the phone line. Plus, you can always drop a comment here in the YouTube live stream. Again, we're streaming live on YouTube at the Miller's Edge or that app inbox. Again, we've always gone to that. So we didn't forget about it. You guys are more than welcome to drop a question, response, comment there, and we'll go from there. That being said, all right, Chase, next on the list, head coach Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media at the Regions Tradition Tournament. So let's go ahead and hear what Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer had to say.
To be back. I remember last year this kind of signified, it felt like the beginning of June. It's right around the corner, recruiting season, and so our staff's on the road right now working hard. Looking forward to the guys getting back to campus a couple weeks away here after they had finals, so enjoying a little bit of time. This is their one time really between now and a year from now where they get away. So our players worked extremely hard. Spring ball about a month out now, so looking forward to getting back 2 weeks here and getting back to work. So looking forward to a great day today. Questions?
How do you feel about offensive tackle depth once the portal settles some and where that sits right now?
Yeah, I think one guy that did a nice job this spring and was kind of forced into action to play some tackle was Olafs, and he did a really nice job. He's really placed a lot of emphasis on the body piece, and just putting a lot of work in, whether it's in the weight room or just with nutrition, and I think that's really transformed and helped him be able to make that adjustment. Again, like I said, forced into action, gave us giving us some depth that I think we feel confident in there. He's a versatile guy, can play inside and outside. And then there are some young guys, some young guys that, hopefully aren't forced into action, but guys that we're getting ready, and then you feel good about Proctor and Wilkin being the guys that, come back that have a lot of experience. The rest of the offensive line, I think, as a whole, just working together is always the key when it comes to that position group. And those guys got good chemistry, and really having 4 of the main 5 back is important for us. It's something I think that we can really build on and be a strength for us.
Kayla, just to keep on the offensive line, what encouragement did you give to Michael Carroll, I guess, heading into his first summer to kind of train ahead of his first fall camp?
What was the first part?
With Michael Carroll, what was kind of your encouragement to him as he went off and kind of prepares for his first fall camp?
Yeah. He's a versatile guy too. Could play guard, had to play a little bit of tackle here this spring, and Michael's got the right mindset, attitude. I think there's a learning curve for any player, but especially offensive line, and it's physical, it's mental, and Michael made steps that you would really hope a player would make throughout the spring, much like I think many of our guys did. So he's, all these guys right now, I think that the big thing for them is they got to understand the month of May isn't a time just to be away and just come back, where you left off. They need to be progressive. And I think with those young guys, and Michael will be one of them, you challenge them to go have a great month of May, enjoy your time with your family and all that good stuff. But let's make sure we're working so we can come back after Memorial Day here, we're ready to roll.
Do you foresee Alex Asperuhoff being able to play in the fall, or is he going to be ready?
He'll be cleared. Alex will be cleared. And so, that's the expectation there. I think probably, from our standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we had a couple different options, and just him not having the level of training, the level of work that you'd have if you were healthy all through the spring and summer. That was something that we just wanted to make sure we guarded against. And he's really coming along. He's an athlete. He's a strong kid. Seems like he's really his recovery process has gone well. So we expect him to be cleared and be part of the competition.
Curious what your message was to the quarterbacks coming out of the spring about where the competition stood, what you want to see from them, because the competition doesn't end right in spring practice.
Right, it doesn't. The competition always continues. That's this year, that's any year. I think the biggest thing for them, the message is that they all got to get better for us to accomplish what we want to do as a team, and of course being quarterback driven in a lot of ways, personnel driven too, but the quarterback position needs to keep progressing. So this summer, fall camp, they all got to keep getting better, and that's their mindset. They're great kids, and they understand that they have high goals for themselves individually and also our whole team.
Taylor, you're confident you wouldn't be doing what you're doing, but what happened in the offseason with no guys going to the portal? How much confidence did that give you that this thing is headed in the right direction?
Well, I think that we had quite a few there after the season, and just as far as the roster management piece, a lot of it took place there, and really they made a commitment to our team to get back to work, and they've done a great job of just focusing on the right things. We've been able to take things because of our continuity, both with coaching staff and our players, to another level when it comes to the details, and that's got to continue on. We're far from where we need to be yet, but there's good momentum, and they feel that. I think individually, our guys see a value, they see a role that they can bring to our team in the different capacities that you're talking about, and that's great to see. And as they refer to, the brotherhood, I think is really important. That chemistry starts with our staff. I think they feel that, and they feel there's good alignment on down to each position group and the guys within those rooms. So I'm excited that that continuity can exist. We really didn't have any issues, any guys at all that even came forward where we had to feel like we were fighting to keep them, which it's never perfect, but it feels like it's in a good spot as we get into the summer.
On the other side of the portal, what did you see in those 2 tight ends that y'all brought in that just kind of met the need y'all had?
Yeah, I think the potential to kind of have a little bit of young and old, and then also just it's a little bit more size. You lose CJ and Robbie at tight end. Those guys got some good size. Danny wasn't able to do the work that we had hoped with the injury. It's not his fault or anything like that, but we just wanted to make sure we got enough depth and enough options as we go through the summer. Many of the guys that weren't working out, this spring are still not full go until probably closer to camp, and so that's critical for us to be able to get the work in this summer, was to bring some guys in. And so those 2 that joined us here in the after spring ball, really looking forward to them getting to work. They're great kids, and getting one younger, one older, but I think they both have a body type that's a little bit bigger, put some good weight on them, and play both of their hand in the dirt, play off the ball, versatile that way.
Last one. Coach, what did you enjoy about being here last year, and what made you want to come back?
Well, I don't know if I love hitting a golf ball in front of what feels like a million people, but it's fun to be out here, be around with all the people, and see the coaches, see these. It's fun to see these pro golfers do what they do in their element. So I love the game. Can't say that I'm great at it. I heard what Nate's comment was about trying to be over 100. I guess I'll try to adopt that philosophy too. If you score over 100 on the field, probably a little different deal. But staying under 100, that's probably a bigger challenge than anything. So I'll enjoy the day. Enjoy being around here. Appreciate all you guys for covering our teams.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that was head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media at the Regions Tradition Golf Tournament. So we got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we will break that down, respond to it. Plus, coming up at 12:05, we got Gray Robertson joining us again. We will talk all college sports, some softball. They are hosting. He is the voice over there, covers them. Plus, might get into a little baseball and obviously some college football. All that coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Don't buy your new or pre-owned Mercedes-Benz from anywhere other than Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa. Their local team provides a 5-star buying experience and 5-star service. Shop local, MercedesofTuscaloosa.com, or go see them at 3200 Skyland Boulevard East, Tuscaloosa.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow trucks, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit drivesafealabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing
victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
See what we got. So here's a list of all the celebrities playing in the tournament. Charles Barkley, which I want to dive into his comments. He has some interesting comments. And if you guys are just joining us, appreciate you guys hopping on here. If you haven't, drop us a like. That'll always help us out. Subscribe. Again, we do this Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. So that'll help you stay up to date with everything. But in terms of everybody playing in this tournament, you've got Coach Saban, Charles Barkley, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, Jamie Johnson, Kirby Smart, Greg McElroy, Riley Green, Bo Jackson, Tommy Tuberville, AJ McCarron, Nate Oates, Trent Dilfer, Lulu Gribben, Greg Sankey, Daryl Johnston, and Taylor Hicks. Good stuff.
Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly sunny, only a small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 85, the low tonight 65. Very warm tomorrow and Friday, partly to mostly sunny both days. Highs between 87 and 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 79 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. We just heard from head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media, talked about his offensive line, talked about some tackles. Maybe we'll bring that one up. The Olea's comments talking about how much he's improved this spring, being thrown into action. So that was good to hear. He spoke about the tight ends, talked about the brotherhood, those guys continuing to develop that camaraderie as they get ready for summer workouts, which will kick off in about 2 weeks or so. So right around the corner. I mean, this thing is just flying by. It literally feels like the season just ended the other day. Then you just had 8A, and now their break, which I know that the players probably don't like this, but it's already about to come to an end. So we'll dive into a couple of those comments here in a second. I was also mentioning, Chase, to the chat over here on YouTube. So this is for the radio listeners, but the list of players playing in this celebrity program up at the Regents Tradition Tournament: Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, Jamie Johnson, Kirby Smart, Bo Jackson, Riley Green, Greg McElroy, Tommy Tuberville, AJ McCarron, Nate Oates, Greg Sankey, Lulu Gribben, Trent Dilfer, Daryl Johnston, and Taylor Hicks. So fun group there. Charles Barkley, Chase. We're going to hear from him probably in the second hour. We don't have a whole bunch of time right now. I want to make sure you have enough time because he had some interesting comments, Chase, when he was speaking. I guess he was talking to the media, but he made some comments regarding NIL and kind of his contributions. And I want to bring it up because let me see if I can find this here. Let me see. I know I just had it pulled up. But anyway, he was basically talking about how it's kind of ridiculous how much he's, I guess, really contributed, and there's still an expectation to give even more. And that's clearly, one of the biggest indicators that this whole thing we've got going on right now is not sustainable. These boosters are tired of having to write check after check after check. And matter of fact, here's what Charles had to say. We'll at least just read the tweet, and then obviously we can listen to the whole audio here in a little bit. But he says, I've given more money to Auburn, legal or illegal, than any athlete in the history of the school, in the notion that I'm going to come up with a couple $1 million every year so that we can be good at basketball and football. That's the stupidest thing that I've heard. Now, Chase, he kind of, I don't know if he intentionally or unintentionally kind of, let me find a better way to say this. He kind of, I guess, dunked on their collective. Sorry, my dog's a little, he's not feeling too great. You can hear him whine in the background, but Chase, how do you feel about his comments? I mean, he says legal or illegal. I've given more money to Auburn than any athlete in the history of the school, in the motion that I'm going to come up with a couple $1 million every year so that we can be good in basketball. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you feel like he kind of went too far? You feel like he kind of dunked on his own collective, or what?
Charles must have a backup plan for the second part of his career, because he can kiss that goodbye with Auburn. They're not going to be too happy that he said that. He's the most recognizable face in sports. You know, like he's with Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. It's just one of the most rated shows. And you say that, and you represent Auburn, and Auburn's trying to get glory back with their basketball program and continue it. And then you're talking about illegally and legally, I've given millions of dollars. Like, why would you say that? That is the worst thing right now to be doing. So I think it's a horrible thing. I don't know what the relationship is like between him and Auburn and their collectives and how those things are ran. But could you imagine, like, who would be comparable to Charles Barkley for Alabama, like representing them in that esque?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I don't know exactly, because I mean, I could think of a couple. I mean, that could be somebody that's a very notable former player, but also very very well known in the media, who has a big presence, a very big platform. I mean, maybe people are going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to go from like notable former player, but also, big on the media side of things. I mean, Greg McElroy, former player, media. Obviously, I know people are going to be like, dude, are you comparing Greg McElroy to Charles Barkley? No, I'm not comparing them in terms of their careers. I'm just saying, notable former players that have a pretty solid presence in a platform. So I would say maybe, Mark Ingram, maybe he's kind of taking off with his, media career. That's a really good question. But regardless, it would be like somebody with a lot of influence who's very respected. And the reason I say that is because, every time we're watching TNT, we're watching, TV and seeing him, you automatically think, oh, Auburn grad, right? He's very loud and proud about that. So, for him to make those comments, it clearly comes from frustration. That's why I was very, shocked when he said it like that. Because, again, I've given more money to Auburn, legal or illegal, than any athlete in the history of the school. And the notion that I'm going to come up with a couple $1 million every year so he can be good at basketball and football. To me, that sounds like he's almost kind of taking his frustration out, as if like maybe they had gone to him asking for some more, support, which AKA more checks, which, we've already known this. Imagine if it was you guys, like every few months, you've got somebody asking for more and more donations, and it just keeps becoming more frequent, more expensive. Obviously you guys wouldn't really enjoy that. So, I'd imagine somebody like him is probably a little fed up with it. So I think he also did respond to Coach Saban in kind of what he's got going on. And I know you guys have probably heard Barkley talk about Coach Saban. He's very high on Coach Saban. Sorry, my dog really is not feeling great. But obviously, I think it'll be interesting to hear what he had to say in the whole interview. So, Chase, how about we do this? Let's take an early timeout. I'm going to go ahead and help my dog get settled real quick. And then that way we're completely ready for Gray coming up. So sorry about that, guys. My dog's dealing with some hip pain. So let me make sure he's all right. And when we come back, we've got Gray Robertson joining us. We'll get that interview going. Plus, we'll still hear from Charles Barkley as well as Nate Oates. So maybe some basketball talk coming up. But first, we got to hit this top of the hour break right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama,
We are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States,
and from around the world.
we're here for the rookies and the dreamers.
Trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers
Who are resilient.
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
Athletic trainers and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing
victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Chris Perfett.
Donovan Mitchell was back in the lineup for the Cavaliers, but it was not enough to hold off elimination as the Pacers took a 114-105 victory, taking the series 4-1. Tyrese Halliburton scored 31 points for the Pacers. Nikola Jokic had 44 points, 15 rebounds, but it wasn't enough. The Thunder claimed the lead in the final minutes and defeated the Nuggets 112-105. All OKC starters scored double-digit points. They have a 3-2 series lead. On Tuesday, Major League Baseball announced that it ended the lifetime bans of 17 deceased individuals, including Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson. Rose, Jackson, and others would still need 12 of 16 votes from the Classic Baseball Era Committee to be placed in the Hall of Fame. They will not meet until December of 2027. 4 walk-offs in baseball on Tuesday night, including a Fernando Tatis Jr. home run.
Hopefully it's not too bad, man. My dog's dealing with some hip pain, so if only we could give him some Good Feet arch supports, man, it'd help knock all that out. And he's all right. I gave him medicine earlier, but he wants to be like right next to me, I guess. So just bear with us today. We might have a little bit of a bark in the background every now and then.
And if you can't say
you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose your hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers.
Perfect. Got it, Chase. Appreciate that, man.
Ian won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing
victory over injury. Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now let's spark in. Lights are blowing. Don't do it yourself or you'll be glowing. Call Taylor Electric. We do it all. Taylor Electric. Give the boss man a call.
Call or text 205-553-0958.
Fair pricing is what we do. Taylor Electric, we are here for you.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly sunny, only a small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 85, the low tonight 65. Very warm tomorrow and Friday, partly to mostly sunny both days. Highs between 87 and 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 79 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Hour number 2 officially underway. We've been talking about the Regents Tradition Golf Tournament that's taking place. You've got a lot of notable figures up there, but now we're going to segue and talk to one of my good friends, Gray Robertson, my co-host and partner in crime over on the Everwood Post-Game Party Show for Alabama football on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Plus, Gray also works alongside some other great broadcasters and company over on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, plus SEC Network, softball, basketball, you name it. Gray covers it. Gray, welcome in, man. How's everything going?
It is wonderful, my friend. Good to chat with you about some softball. Postseason's back, 20 straight years hosting a regional in Tuscaloosa, and I'm excited to get it started on Friday.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, tell me about it. So update us. So last time we talked, obviously, you were down in Georgia, down in Athens. SEC tournament was taking place. We ended up beating Auburn, but then we dropped to South Carolina. But we were fortunate to be selected as a number 15 seed. Now we will be hosting, like you just mentioned, Jackson State, Belmont, Virginia Tech. Give us a little preview, Gray, or a little outlook on what to expect this weekend.
Pitching is going to be the name of the game. Alabama with two arms that can go as an ace in Caitlin Riley and Jocelyn Brisky. Virginia Tech's got two really good arms. Emma Limley is a certified ace. She got a golden ticket to play pro. She'll be getting that chance in the AUSL coming up very soon. And she's got a lot of experience playing at Rhodes. I think it was week 2 of her freshman year, came in and threw a complete game, only gave up 1 run. It was the only run scored in the game, and she took the loss, but she's been a part of this environment for years. And then, the 3-seed Belmont has the nation's leader in strikeouts, Maya Johnson, 355 strikeouts to 19 walks. That's it. That's the ratio. So pitching is going to be really remarkable, and it's going to be about which offense can kind of break through against all these really talented arms coming to T-Town.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. Did I hear this right? Have we faced Virginia Tech this year, or am I making that up?
Oh, no, that's right. That was back in the Easton Bama Bash. Couple games. Virginia Tech won the first one 2-1, and Alabama run-ruled Virginia Tech in the second one 9-1.
Ah, okay. I thought I remembered that. Okay, at least I'm not tripping on that one. Gray, when you look at this team now, obviously we fell a little short in that SEC tournament, but getting to host another regional, you talked about the stats there. I mean, it seems like it's a yearly thing. How confident are you in this team? And how far they can go. And obviously they've had some ebbs and flows this season, but going into this one, I mean, how confident are you?
I mean, the capability is definitely there, and you're going to need some people, especially down kind of in the bottom part of the order, to continue to be successful if you want to come out of this regional because of how good the opposing pitching is. But, when you've got Audrey Vandegrift at the top of the order, she's the most dangerous overall bat in this regional for sure. She's got the capability of setting the table. Lauren Johnson's got to be really good in the 2 spot if that's where she is. And then Callie Hevelin, who has not had a ton of regional success. A lot of her postseason success has come in supers or the World Series. Regionals have kind of been a tough go. Luck of a draw, who knows why that is. But if she can come out and be a big-time RBI producer, then that would be really, really beneficial to Alabama because, again, I think in a lot of these games, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 hits. I mean, Alabama and Virginia Tech, they've been playing each other pretty much yearly since 2022. And all those games, minus Alabama's run rule this year, have either gone to extra innings or been decided by 1 run. That's the trend.
Wow.
So I would assume that if the Hokies and Tide are matched up a couple times, that we probably see at least one that's very, very similarly laid out.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this then. I mean, you talked about how important those, those moments are, those crunch time moments, those clutch moments where somebody's got to come up with something late in the game. This season, have we been in those situations frequently? And if so, how have they been? And how confident are you that we can see ourselves on the winning side of those? Because I think I went to which game was it? I can't remember what it was. I went to a game, Florida State. I think it was. It's Florida State, and for most of the game we were playing pretty solid, but then down the stretch, it started to slip from us. How confident are you in our girls in those moments, in those clutch moments?
I think that's honestly one of the questions. When you evaluate this Alabama team, when you watch this Alabama team, they bring up the stat every time. It's like, I think it's now 10 games lost this year where Alabama's had the lead in the 6th inning or later. And at the same time, we're also talking about a team that has walked off Oklahoma and gotten out of a bases loaded situation in, I believe that was the top of the 7th, when the Sooners had bases loaded, 1 out with their leadoff hitter up. That's like the worst possible scenario, and Alabama got out of it and eventually walked it off. So how have they taken all those defeats, right? I mean, you know this. You're a great competitor. Like, every time you lose, you got to learn something from it. And how has the team taken the lessons that hopefully they've learned from those games where they didn't get it done, and how can they utilize those and the opportunities that are going to be presented to them this week to get it done? That'll be the great question. Virginia Tech is a great finishing team as well. And we can't forget about Belmont either, but how Alabama responds is kind of up to them, and, kind of based on how they react to what all they've faced this year. I'll say that.
We're joined by Gray Robertson, analyst for Alabama softball, basketball, SEC Network, Crimson Tide Sports Network. Gray, give me a little outlook on the national picture and some of these other teams. I'm looking at the top 16 seeds. You've got 9 teams from the SEC. We know how stacked this conference is. Give me some of your favorites to really win it all and why.
Well, I'll be boring and mention the number 1 overall seed, Texas A&M, first. I really like this team. I think we talked about this last time, but it's just a team that wins, and sometimes I don't even really know how, but I'll look and they'll just have control. The last week, I've kind of figured out how, and it's just by bashing the heck out of it. I mean, 1 through 9, they were excellent in the SEC tournament. They run-ruled the South Carolina team that Alabama lost to, and then just totally dismantled Texas 14-2. That was over before it even started. And if A&M's playing like that, with the talent that they've got, that is probably your favorite. And then you can't forget about Oklahoma. I know that's Alabama's super matchup if all seeds were to hold and we got to that round, but like, Oklahoma's Oklahoma. They've won 4 straight. And when you've got a coach like Patty Gasso who knows how to dial in and get her team ready for this time of year, you just can never discount them, even though I do think Oklahoma has more flaws and holes this year than they have the last 4 seasons. And then maybe one little darkish horse, I guess, Florida State is the 5 seed. You know, they were the one SEC team or the one non-SEC team to get a Supers host. They've got a really good lineup. Jay Beecham's had a tough year, but she was a National Freshman of the Year last year. Michaela Edenfield's probably one of the top 3 catchers in America. She'll be going to play pro. They've got a deep pitching staff, including a National Freshman of the Year finalist in Jazzy Francic. And they're also, you know, they're playing for something more. Their head coach, Lonnie Alameda, got a breast cancer diagnosis earlier this year, and that's kind of been a rallying point for the team and for the program and, frankly, for the sport. The tragic events on campus a few weeks ago as well. Like, Florida State's dealt with a lot this year, and it feels like if they can kind of get all arrows pointed in the same direction, that's a team that could make a run in the Women's College World Series.
Yeah, they looked solid when they came here, and it's actually cool to see them play in person because I actually have some family friends that played at Florida State. Matter of fact, one was an All-American pitcher back in like early 2000s from back where I'm from, my hometown. But anyway, I think they definitely look to be a solid team. Gray, I want to segue real quick. Something that's been kind of a talking point in college athletics as a whole. I don't think we hit it last week, but I definitely am curious to hear your thoughts. It came back up today with Coach Saban up there at the Regions Tradition Tournament, but he was named as co-chair of a new college football committee under this Trump administration that's looking to take aim at saving college athletics, fixing all the issues. I don't know how much you've heard of it, but if you have, what were your thoughts on that? And do you think that Coach Saban is going to be able to finally save college athletics once and for all?
Well, I know a lot of Alabama fans are like, look, if we're looking for somebody to save college athletics, let's dial up Coach Saban. I was doing a little bit of reading about it because I spent 2 hours at the DMV this morning, and I was just catching up on all the stuff that I missed. It was quick, though, relatively. 2 hours in and out. I'm pleased. I trust Coach Saban to have the right mindset in all this, and I think based on the conversations that I have heard behind the scenes, not necessarily with Coach Saban, but with other sports and other coaches and people in the athletic department, and also the way Coach Saban has talked about wanting to make sure that all college sports are taken care of, I think he's going to try and do right by everybody. Obviously, football will be the forefront. That'll be the main discussion. People are going to want to try and wrangle all that in. But again, I think like we need some sort of something, right, on basketball, women's basketball, softball, baseball. Like we can't have everybody be just purely chasing the bag when they're making some of these decisions about what they're going to do with their lives in college. So I think Coach Saban is the right guy for this. I'm interested to see how in the world, they're going to fill out this committee. I know they've brought on the guy from the Matador Club at Texas Tech, who was a big investor in getting Nyjah Kennedy that $1 million deal to go to Texas Tech for softball this year. So we'll see. Jury's still out, but trust me, if I have to call one person to try and quote unquote save college sports, I am totally fine with that one person being Nick Saban. The man knows what he's talking about. He's seen it all, and I'm excited to see what kind of plan they lay out.
Yeah, no, I think probably 95% of the college sports world would agree. And that 5% is just those haters that literally find
Auburn
anything
fans?
they can. Yeah, but the Auburn fans, and then the crowd that anytime Coach Saban does anything, they immediately follow it up with, "Oh, he's doing that," so that people can't do what he was doing. I'm like, guys, this guy is like happily retired, killing it on ESPN. Do y'all think he just is like this evil guy that sits behind a desk, like looking to infiltrate and stop people from catching up to what he accomplished? I'm like, guys, you don't know Coach Saban, man. He genuinely just wants well for the sport. But let me ask you this, Gray.
I'll even add in real quick.
Yeah,
I'll even add in real quick. I think he understands too. Like, I don't know. I have not talked to the man about this, and I'm the last person he would. But I'm sure he's part of the growing list of coaches who've done this for a long time, who are exhausted, who understand, like who did not get into this to do what's happening right now. They didn't get into this to negotiate at the conference room table about building a roster. They did it to help kids develop and chase their dreams and accomplish their goals. And I'm sure that having a guy who may or may not have kind of gotten out because of that, I'm sure there were a million reasons as to why the time was when it was for Coach Saban. But a guy who kind of understands that feeling maybe better than anybody is why he's kind of the perfect candidate to be one of the loudest voices in this.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he knows better than most, that whole deal. I want to ask you, because it sparked my curiosity, Gray. I mean, you're very close. Obviously, you cover softball closely, women's basketball, two sports that you don't really hear too much about when you think about NIL. I guess you did mention, big deal at Texas Tech, but how have you seen NIL and transfer portal, the same issues we deal with football and men's basketball, potentially infiltrate a sport like softball? Because again, I personally don't hear as much about those deals, but I'm curious, for somebody like you that's around it all the time, have you seen NIL and transfer portal become big issues with softball and even maybe women's basketball as well?
It's growing for sure. I know with softball, again, like the Nyjah Kennedy deal was different, and that's not something that's going to happen very often. We're talking about the best pitcher of the year, or the best player in America, the best pitcher maybe in the world. Honestly, if you talk to Danielle Laurie from ESPN, she said to me, like, top 3 in the world, Nyjah Kennedy. And, when she went in the portal, everyone kind of knew it was going to be partially a bidding war. And Texas Tech won that with the over $1 million deal that she signed to go to Lubbock. As for like elsewhere, because that's rare. That's not going to happen all that much. There aren't going to be $1 million contracts going around in softball all that often. I have heard recently, especially last year, a little bit more of kind of a negotiation tactics coming into play. Kids looking specifically to jump from schools for NIL money, not necessarily because of competition or anything like that. And I think that's just going to continue to grow as people see the possibilities that are out there. I think this offseason in softball, I don't know who's going to be the big fish, but somebody's going to go in. Somebody around America is going to say, well, I can get the Nyjah bag. And they might not get $1 million, but they might get $500K, $400K or something. And, and make the move to a bigger school or a different school that wants to win now. So it's growing more rampant. Women's basketball, same deal. You're starting to see more of this take place. The good thing is you've still got a lot of kids who go in the portal and make moves and pick their new schools for regular reasons, I guess, for lack of a better term. Fit, coaching staff. This is an area of need. This is where I'm happy. I went on a visit and fell in love with the place. That's still something that happens a lot in women's sports. But as people realize what the power of NIL can do, we are starting to see a little bit more of the business side come through in some of those decisions.
No doubt about it. That's interesting to hear. And I'll be honest, that was the first time I heard about that $1 million plus deal with the young woman from Texas Tech. So obviously, yeah, there are some cases, following suit over there. And like you mentioned, it's probably not a bunch, but that's crazy. But when you say she's like top 3 in the world, I mean, clearly the talent, I guess, is very deserving of that type of payday.
And Texas Tech has never hosted a regional before in program history. They've made it to a tournament 6 times before this year, and they're the 12 seed. So far, so good on the payoff of the investment. We'll see what it leads to in the actual postseason once games are played. But so far, looks like Nyjah made the right choice, and Texas Tech made the right call making the investment.
And then real quick, that the young lady that was pitching for, I think, Oklahoma a couple of years ago, like a phenom, she also played I think she played like a couple different positions, but she ended up transferring back home to Nebraska, Wisconsin. Does that ring a bell? What is that?
Nebraska.
Yeah. Did she get a big NIL deal, or was that kind of just like, oh, she just wanted to go home?
That was Jordy Ball. That was kind of
her.
I just want to go home. And her big thing, and I really like this actually, was I want to grow softball in Nebraska to where it is in Oklahoma. And she felt like her star was big enough to where she could go and make an impact on that program. And that's also 100% happened. I mean, right now, probably the sexiest pick out of regional rounds for an unseeded team to go and win on the road is Nebraska and Baton Rouge. Like everybody and their mothers picking Nebraska to win the Baton Rouge regional this weekend. But yeah, Jordy, and I'm sure there's been stuff that Jordy's gotten because of that, because frankly, in the state of Nebraska, there aren't a lot of stars, on the women's side who can really kind of take up some of that space. But yeah, Jordy's story was really interesting, and that would be a fascinating piece if there's some writer out there who wants to compare and contrast the portal journeys of Jordy Ball from OU to Nebraska and Nigel Kennedy from Stanford to Texas Tech. It's been interesting to watch it all develop each and every year.
Well, if anybody needed a reason to donate to the collective, right, and you're a big softball fan, there you go. I mean, you're talking about the numbers that are being thrown around for some really good pitching. Well, we had one. Obviously, she graduated Montana Fouts. So if you guys want to see another Montana Fouts, might need to go ahead and get those checks out, those wallets out, and get ready to donate. Gray, I appreciate you hopping on here, man. Definitely love getting your softball breakdown. I've been a big fan the past few years, man, and I love hearing your knowledge on it. Before I let you go, man, let everybody know how they can keep up with you and stay up to date. I know you've got your podcast, Out of the Box. What else you got?
Yeah, at Out of the Box _pod on Twitter/X. You can follow me at Gray_Robertson, GRAY. And if you want to listen this weekend, just download the Varsity app. Same way you listen to football or basketball or anything else, just download the Varsity app. Search Alabama softball will be right there. Tom and I will have the call all weekend long, and hope to see you at Rhodes, Christian, if you're around. We'd love to have you.
Oh yeah, no, I think I'm going to stop by there, and I think I might try to catch a baseball game too, man. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I'll definitely catch up with you after one of these games. I'll text you and let you know which one, man. I appreciate you, great man. Have a great call this weekend.
Yes, sir. Good to chat.
Yes, sir. Always, man. Take care. Good deal. That was my partner in crime, Gray Robertson, over on the Everwood postgame party show. Then, obviously, as you heard him, analyst for Alabama softball, SEC Network, all that stuff, man. Gray does it all. Great voice. And if you guys haven't listened to any of his calls, man, check him out because he is really good at what he does. He's phenomenal, man. Rising star in the broadcast business. All right, we got to hit a timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling, Chase, right here on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, the home of Alabama sports. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Who we got in the chat? If you guys are, if you just joined us, who we got in here now? Sorry, I've been a little occupied. I hadn't been able to talk with you guys much. We still got Nate Oates audio to get to. And then Charles Barkley. I want to listen to that whole interview. I'm trying to find it. Hey, Chase, if we can we try to find I saw like a clip of Charles Barkley, but it wasn't the whole thing. I want to hear his whole interview to really break down what he was saying. I know we talked about it a little bit. I felt bad that I kind of had to cut a little short just because my dog, unfortunately, was, I guess, not feeling too great. But he's doing good now. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it. Let's see. But, yes, Charles Barkley was talking about the NIL thing. He's sick and tired of trying to donate more and more. I'm just wondering what's going to come from the whole legal and illegal thing. I mean, look, one thing that I will say about him, and a lot of people, I think a lot of Alabama fans even like Charles Barkley, even though he's an Auburn grad, because number one, he keeps it real, man. That's one thing he does do. He keeps it real. And here he did keep it real again, but maybe he kept it just a little too real. I mean, do they dig into those comments? I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, obviously we heard, I think my dad has come on here and like, oh, back when I was at South Carolina, I was, getting handshakes. Highly doubt they're going to say, hey, Corey Miller, who played at Carolina from 87 to 90, said on the Miller's Edge that he got some illegal money back then. Let's go dive into what that's about. Right? That's nothing's coming from that. But, I mean, Charles Barkley sitting there and saying that, I mean, that could be as recent as last year. Well, I guess it wouldn't be. No, excuse me. It wouldn't be last year. It's legal now, but I guess, 4 or 5 years ago? It's pretty recent. Oh, you found the full clip. Oh, 9 minutes. Okay. I haven't heard all of it. I mean, we definitely could listen to all of it. Now, if he starts going on a whole thing about Auburn basketball or something, I'm not going to make everybody sit through that. But, yeah, maybe we just rerun it, Chase, and then we just let it play and see what he's got on there. because I want to hear his full comments. 'Cause he said something else, but I will tell you this, Chase. Heads up. I think one of the things he said was quoted him dropping might have been an F-bomb. I don't know if he actually said it or what.
Is Miller,
but just a heads up.
100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Just got done talking to my buddy Gray Robertson, again, analyst for Alabama softball, women's basketball, broadcaster with SEC Network, my co-host on the Everwood postgame party show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network during football season. Is basically the best postgame show that you can catch. So make sure you guys catch us once football season rolls back around. But big thanks to him. He always is dropping a bunch of softball knowledge on us. Plus, Gray's big into college football, so we'll definitely be talking about some college football with him moving forward as well. Going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier regarding Charles Barkley. I know we're going to hear from Nate Oates here in a minute, but Chase, I wanted to hear from Charles Barkley because he had some interesting comments. We read over one of those comments, but I want to hear the whole clip. At least most of it, because I think he also mentioned some other things. But basically what it was how he's given more money to Auburn, legal or illegal, that any athlete in the history of the school has done, and the notion that he's expected to continue giving millions of dollars every year just to be good at football or basketball, he said is the stupidest thing he's ever heard. I don't blame him for being frustrated, and I think a lot of people that contribute in that capacity definitely are frustrated. We just heard Gray just talk about, it's even in softball. You got $1 million deal being given out in softball. It's all across the board. That being said, let's go ahead and hear everything he had to say. Now, Chase, hopefully, if you're ahead of it, you can catch it if he does say something a little colorful for the radio. But let's hear the full context and see what Charles Barkley had to say when he spoke to the media at the Regions Tradition Tournament.
It's always great to come to Alabama, and this is a great week for Birmingham. I appreciate all these guys coming here. I hope the fans come out and support just Birmingham. But it's always an honor. It's a lot for me, obviously. I worked at 2 a.m, went straight to the airport, and got to go back and work tonight. But anything that I can do to help Alabama is always an honor and a privilege. And shout out to the Auburn Nation.
Will this be your first time golfing with me, too?
Yeah, it will be. And it's always an honor to be around Coach Saban. He's the greatest college football coach ever. I have a lot of admiration and respect for him. He's asked me to speak to the Tide a couple of times. It meant a great deal to me for him to ask me to do that. And I would do anything for him because I just got so much admiration and respect for him. So it's going to be fun today.
What do you expect out of him in his new role with the Presidential Commission for College Athletics?
Well, I don't even know. College athletics is so up right now. I don't know what they're going to do to fix this thing. NCAA, they're just a bunch of idiots and let it get so out of control. So I don't, the problem you're going to have, I don't know how you put toothpaste back in the tube. So he got his hands full. I don't know how they're going to do it. He's probably the right man for the job, but it's not that simple as the right man for the job.
Charles, you look really good.
Thank you, brother. I'm getting there.
How much weight have you lost?
I'm down about 50 pounds. I want to lose another 50.
Another 50?
Yeah.
To get down to what?
270, because I gained 100 pounds when I got my hips. So I'm working with a new company called RO, Road.co. I'm doing a drug called Zepbound. But Dr. Andrews told me, ain't no fat old people, so he told me to get my fat ass in shape. So I'm really working hard on it right now.
No shot or anything?
Yeah, definitely a shot. Yeah, for sure.
How far is your golf game?
I do. I'm playing great right now. Yeah, Jeff, I'm playing great right now. I'm excited. I'm excited for the summer so I can play golf every day. I got about another 2 weeks, 3 weeks working. Then I'm on vacation for the next 4 months. So I'm really excited about that.
You mentioned you wouldn't contribute to an NIL collective.
Oh, that's not what I said.
I know, but you want to make contributions that are difference making, I think.
Well, listen, there's nobody legal or illegal, who gave him more money to Auburn than me. Let's get that out the way.
Right.
There's not a single person in the world who's given more money to Auburn, legal or illegal, than me. But the notion that I'm going to give them millions of dollars a year so Auburn can be good at football and basketball, that's not going to happen. I've been great, and I'll give Auburn anything. But the notion that I'm going to come up with millions of dollars every year to help us be good at basketball and football, anybody think that is just stupid.
How do you get guys together to kind of play under contract? You think maybe the employee route?
Man, I don't know the answer to that question. She just asked that question about Saban. Like, as much love and respect I got for him, it's not going to be that simple. I don't know how they're going to fix this catastrophe they got going on right now.
You talked about wanting to play golf a lot in your upcoming time off. When you're making your golf playlist, who are the artists on the top of that list?
What do you mean?
Like a golf play, listening to music while you're out on the course. Who's on your playlist?
Well, I'm going through a country stage right now with Dan and Shay, Kane Brown. Those are my two. Like, I got a chance to have Dan and Shay on the podcast recently. They're probably my hot group right now. But also, I'm really loving Kane Brown. So I'm going through a country music stage right now, and it's pretty cool.
Saw you give a handshake here to Hugh when he was over here. What excites you about what he's building, what he's got going into this year?
Well, I support Auburn unconditionally. He's our coach. I got a lot of love and respect for him, and I want us to do well. So anytime I see Coach Freeze, I always give him the love and respect he deserves, and I try to check on him every now and then.
We heard Saban. I heard somebody over yonder here say, "Hey, Saban, Barkley, for president and vice president, which would be which? Ever interested in going?"
Yeah, I'm not looking for no job. I got a good one right now. Apparently, I read some stuff about my life is pretty good right now. Just trying to figure out my future more than anything. But yeah, I don't want no real job. It's too late for that. That ship is sailed.
Did you ever think you'd be a big TV star like you are now?
Yes. I believe I'm going to be great at what I do, no matter what I do. I believe in myself no matter what. I'm always going to bet on myself.
Who'd you pick to win?
I've been very lucky and blessed, but whatever I do, I'm going to work my behind off, and I'm always going to be successful. I can promise you that.
Who's your pick to win the NBA Finals?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Why?
They got the best team. that always helps. That always helps. I'm not going to say the Atlanta Hawks. No, I'm not going to say the 76ers because I played there with the Phoenix Suns. You have to still be playing to actually win. So, but the OKC Thunder, that's been my pick for the last 6 months. I have not seen anything to think.
Surprised by the Knicks?
Well, I'm surprised they beat the Celtics, yes. And obviously, I'll be shocked if they lose now unfortunately. I want to wish Jason Tatum the best. That was really unfortunate. But the Knicks outplayed them. Even when they got hurt, the Knicks were ahead. They have played their behind off. And obviously, Indiana, congratulations to them. They won last night. We had that game last night. And looking forward to getting back to work tonight and seeing what happened in Game 6. I expect the Celtics to win tonight, though. But I expect the Knicks to win back in New York.
What player in today's game reminds you of yourself?
It's a little different, man, because the game is so different nowadays. The game is so different nowadays. The players, the game is different. The players are different. You know, it's a three-point shooting contest right now. So I don't like to compare. I don't think it's fair. I hate when they do that on television. They're like, well, he's like this guy. You mean that guy who's in the Hall of Fame? Like, how do you know so you comparing the guy who's already an all-star who's in the Hall of Fame? That's some stupid. I don't think it'd be fair for me to say this guy, like, is that guy going to be in the Hall of Fame? I'm actually in the Hall of Fame, so it wouldn't be fair for me to say he's going to be as good as me. I hope they're all good as me or better, to be honest with you. But I don't like doing that. I just think, especially like they do it all the time. When the guy's in college, they're like, he reminds me of somebody. I'm like, oh, you mean that guy who's one of the greatest players ever? Now what? Why would you do that?
Do you think Auburn will win a national championship in basketball during your lifetime?
Listen, Bruce Pearl, what he's done at Auburn, I never thought in my wildest dream Auburn would go to the Final Four. They've been there twice. And what Bruce Pearl has done at Auburn is incredible. I never in my wildest dream thought Auburn would make it to the Final Four. And nobody here thought that either. So for him to take us to the Final Four 2 times in the last X amount of years is incredible and amazing. And I'm proud that Bruce is our coach. And the number one thing, he graduates our players, which is my only real concern, to be honest with you. As long as he graduating players, we're good. But the winning is a bonus.
Just think about how you would have got my last question.
Well, I probably would have made a lot of money. But, my problem with NIL is, number one, I'm not against players getting paid, but number one, players being able to go to a different school every year for more money. And also, I'm not even sure how it works in basketball. Like, at least in football, you get a guy for 3 years if you pay him a lot of money. I'm not sure giving a guy millions of dollars to come to school for 6 months, I don't see a return on investment, how that benefits anybody. Like I say, I feel pretty good, whether legal or illegal. I feel pretty good about the amount of money I've given Auburn. I don't think anybody's given more, legal or illegal. But the notion that I'm going to up the ante because you can do it now and give them millions of dollars so we can be successful at basketball, that is just stupid.
Did you hate to see Chad Baker Mazara go?
He's a good kid. I wish him best at USC. But listen, man, I don't even know how all that stuff works. This transfer thing is crazy. Like, I'm not even sure what the hell is going to happen with college sports, because to be able to go to a different school every year is absurd and crazy. And to be able to be a free agent every year is just crazy. Like, I mean, they got some serious issues, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. And I feel bad, because you got to understand something. Most of these kids, 99% of these kids, are never going to touch a pro sport in any capacity. Most of them getting a free education, which is really important, the most important thing by far. But I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I mean, because it's ugly out here right now.
I've got Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
And there you go, man. Definitely talk about a guy that's entertaining and very real and transparent, man. That's Charles Barkley for you. Definitely a couple of things I want to take from that. I know we got to hit a timeout here in a second. But it definitely was very interesting to hear him. Now, I'm glad we listened to that, Chase, because obviously we were reading the tweet here. But, I mean, he didn't double down, Chase. He tripled it. He said like three more times. Legal or illegal. I really don't think anything comes from this, but Chase, do you think the NCAA or whoever might have heard that, got sent that? Do you think they bring up some investigation? Do you think they look into that? Because, I mean, he was very adamant on, I've given the most, legal or illegal. And how do you think Auburn responds? Do you think somebody from Auburn, a representative, reaches out to him and says, hey, man, let's not go out there and say stuff like that? What do you think comes from this, if anything?
This is such a funny dynamic, and the fact that it's happening to Auburn of all places is just hysterical to me. But Christian, one thing I'm looking at, he was so comfortable saying that. Like, he wasn't like, oh, like, a couple mil. Like, he was like illegally and legally 3 times throughout that clip. That is wild to me. So I don't think the NCAA is going to touch it, especially with how many things they're dealing with right now, trying to stay face with colleges, fan bases, sponsorships. It's just they're on eggshells right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they looked into this, but they're going to probably batten out of this and just move on to something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I feel like at this point, like you just said, they've got so much in their hands already. They're kind of just staying out of a lot of stuff. So I don't know. But like you said, I mean, 3 times just continuously saying that. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they tried to kind of just peek in there and be like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead into timeout, because I know we've definitely kind of gone over some of these breaks and whatnot. Let us get back on schedule. But when we come back, we wrap things up. We should have enough time to listen to Nate Oates. I do want to get his thoughts. Obviously, been a lot of movement. Speaking about transfer portal, Charles Barkley spoke about that. Well, Alabama's been very active in it and has added some players. So It would be nice to get an update from Nate Oates, which he did speak to the media today before he played in the Regions Tradition Tournament. So we should have enough time for that, and we'll probably end things off with that. So that's coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Auburn sucks. Please, Ty Simpson, don't. Nah, Ty's gonna be good, man. Ty's gonna be good. Did y'all see that clip of Ty with Booker at that hockey game in Dallas? That was funny. They were having the time of their lives. Now, I've never really been into hockey. I'm not gonna lie. It's not really big back in South Carolina. I mean, I don't think it's really big here either. But I mean, obviously there's a team in North Carolina, but South Carolina, I mean, even though we're kind of the same, we're really not. But I never really watched it. But it looks fun though. It definitely looks pretty entertaining. But that video of that, matter of fact, let me pull it up. See if we can find it. There's a clip, but no, it was this video. Matter of fact, let me see if I can play the sound.
Oh, it's you, the cap.
She's being serious.
Oh, I had it muted. Y'all. Well, now you could. Well, all right. Yeah, that sounds good, Chase. That's perfect. That's perfect. Dang, I didn't have the audio on. Whoops. That's the other thing, Chase. You know what I think we could do too is I forgot to tell you this. I think if I rolled a clip, the feed should go straight to radio too. So like if I wanted to play that, instead of having to have you pull something up or there or something quick that I saw, I think we could do that. Like for instance, like that. Chase, can you hear that? That clip?
I wonder if I put my phone up here. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
And then like generate enough force to like hit somebody on skates. It's crazy. He's coming to your Cowboys game.
Fans are crazy sometimes, man.
Oh! They're on the fight. Look at. Oh! I came here for. Do it down here.
That's funny.
Better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A very warm afternoon, partly sunny, only a small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 85, the low tonight 65. Very warm tomorrow and Friday. Partly to mostly sunny both days. Highs between 87 and 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 81 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. But let me remind you real quick about our friends over at R&R Cigars. Again, if you guys are in the market for those premium cigars, you got to check out R&R Cigars. If you're in Tuscaloosa, head on over to the mansion. Again, you can get some really good deals, but you can't beat the atmosphere. I mean, talking about a wraparound porch, they've got TVs throughout. You can sit there. You can enjoy a nice smoke. Weather is getting great outside. It's that time of year. Plus, they've got over 160 bourbons to choose from that you can pair up. Drink responsibly. But if you're talking about a place to go watch, basketball, football, whatever, boxing, they put those events on. You can't beat it. 2703 6th Street is where you can find them here in Tuscaloosa, right there, downtown area. Again, you can't miss it. It's a big white mansion. It's very unique, man. It's one of a kind. Plus, if you aren't local, don't worry about it. As you can see on the YouTube stream, you can always go to their website, rnrcigars.com. Again, that's rnrcigars.com. Deals galore. 20% off of any 20 cigars when you build a selection, a box, all that good stuff. Great gift if you're looking for gifts for somebody, or if you yourself enjoy cigars, mix and match 20 of them, you get 20% off. Plus, free shipping on orders of $100 or more. So don't miss out on these deals. Don't miss out on the events they put on, watching events, boxing, again, baseball and stuff's going on. All those people be hanging out over there if you're not going to the game. So check them out. Again, that is R&R Cigars, the official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014. All right. We were going to hit that Nate Oates audio, Chase, but let's put a pause on that for a second, because we do have our buddy Bryce on the phone line. So we'll go to him and let Bryce talk for a minute, see what he's got to say. Bryce, welcome in.
Wow, man, I feel privileged to get that kind of introduction.
Oh, man.
Listen,
anything for you, man.
I'm going to keep this real simple. Oh, okay, where did Barkley go to school and play ball at?
He went to Auburn University.
Okay, well, there's nothing going to happen because it is Auburn University. However, there's a better chance of them trying to trump up some stuff on Nick Saban than Barkley getting investigated. And
Wait, really?
I just had to chime in on that.
Wait, you said there's a better chance that they target
They
Nick
got
Saban?
something
Is that
on
what
Nick
you said?
Saban did something wrong. Yeah, than Barkley getting investigated.
Wait, why do you
That's
think
how
that?
strongly I believe that. Huh?
Why do you think that, Bryce?
Auburn, have they ever got him on anything?
I mean, whatever happened to the whole Cam Newton thing? Did that get them in trouble? I'm genuinely asking. I don't remember. Like the whole
No, it
laptop
didn't.
thing? He just got in
No, it
trouble?
didn't.
They didn't get in trouble?
I'm talking about the part about where he got a gift to come to school to play at Auburn. We all know.
Oh, I didn't
what
even
happened.
know. I wasn't aware of that. I thought, wasn't there like a laptop thing or something? Or am I thinking of something else?
No. We're talking about he got hard, cold cash to come to Auburn. Okay, we all know that. They never proved it because the NCAA didn't do nothing. They brushed over it. So after seeing that, Auburn is kind of like John Gotti. They untouchable. Yeah. If they get them, it'll probably be after my lifetime and your lifetime. They never have got them. Now everything's legal. They can do it.
Yeah, well, that's why I think he might be good. But I mean, was that not just kind of odd that he just was so confident in saying that, Bryce? Did you not think that was odd, or you just kind of expect that from them?
That's Big Charles. That's Big Charles. I mean, he is about him. And unfortunately, when I say this, you're probably going to cringe. Him and Tommy Tuberville now are about the only two people I like at all. Yeah.
I do like Charles, though. I mean, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, I
how
like
can you
Charles.
not like Charles? How can you not like Charles?
Yeah.
He respects the University of Alabama, although he does dislike when we beat him and everything. But he respects Coach Saban, and the University of Alabama because how good they have been, greatness. And Charles is funny. He makes everything funny. That's the reason why he made it funny about what he just said.
Yeah.
That's the reason why nothing will happen. But have you heard from Pastor Payne lately?
Yeah, I did. I talked to him, I think a few days ago, Sunday, I believe. He had his golf tournament. Tuesday was the event. Monday was when he did like the like the pre-event thing, the concert, all that stuff for his ministry. But yeah, I talked to him. I think he's actually going to end up making his way down here in a couple weeks. He does have another golf tournament in Mississippi, so he's definitely going to stop by with that. But yeah, I'm going to get him on the show. I know he's preaching on the weekend, so he's clear during the week. But I'm going to get him on the show now that his golf tournament is done. He just got real tied up, putting that event on. But we'll have to get him on here. I definitely want to get his thoughts on South Carolina this upcoming year. I know a lot of people.
They're talking him up.
Yeah,
That's why I mentioned that.
They kind of vary. Some people have them, 15 through 20. Other people have them a lot higher. But Lenora Sellers at quarterback, obviously Dylan Stewart, they re-signed. It's crazy to say they re-signed him, but they gave him another NIL deal, so they got him back. A lot of people are pretty high on South Carolina, Bryce. So I want to get my dad's thoughts because he's real close to the program up there, so he's going to know a little bit too.
He's gonna chime in. He's gonna be smiling. And grinning.
I already know he's gonna have something to say about some of the some of the rankings that they had for us. Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw, but we've been talking about some of these post-spring rankings, and Josh Pate had us at number 4, Bryce, in his post-spring rankings, which is probably the highest that I've seen. A lot of other people had us probably 9 through 12 in that range. Hell, I might as well get your thoughts, Bryce. How do you feel about it? I know you keep it real as well. You kind of got some Charles Barkley too.
I'm going to take it one game at a time. Let's go to Tallahassee and take care of business. And my goal is for us to make the playoffs. I'm not going to talk up anything, but I do like.
Come on, Bryce.
I think ESPN put this out. Had us like 8th or 9th, in the conference.
Whoa, in the conference.
It might have been. No, it was 7. It was 7. Yeah.
In the conference.
Oh, and I love it. I love it.
Wait, hold on. You're either going to have to send that. I'm going to have to do some research. They had a 7th in the conference. I'm trying to wait. Wow.
Oh, they had Auburn ahead of us. They had Auburn ahead of us.
No. In football, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes, they did. But it was something, and I'm glad. I love it. That's just bulletin board material right there.
Yeah, well, for that reason, I agree with you. But that is outrageous. I mean, 7th conference. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look into that.
7.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that.
And I had to pull it up. If I see it, I will send it to y'all. But I read it yesterday, and I was just loving it.
So you like that? You like the story of us being, complete underdogs. You don't want any hype.
Well, hold on a second. I sent it to a buddy of mine. Let me see if I can pull that up now that I didn't open my mouth.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I'm just really shocked. I mean, to have us at 7. I mean, I'll try to pull this up real quick. I mean, that I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, Texas, Georgia. Oh, go ahead.
This is Power 4 rankings. Hold on a second. I'm pulling it up, okay?
Maybe a 7th nationally, Bryce.
No, This is for the conference.
Interesting.
Okay? It's I had LSU first. Oklahoma.
A lot of people like LSU. They got the quarterback, and then obviously they got some good portal additions. I mean, LSU, Texas, Georgia. I'd imagine those teams might be.
Listen, I'm gonna give you the rundown on this. Okay, they got Oklahoma too. Okay. Oklahoma too. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay. They got Auburn Tigers 3rd.
Wow. I gotta put eyes on this, Bryce. This is definitely interesting. We'll talk about this tomorrow for sure. It's on ESPN. I'm gonna look it up.
Number 4 is Texas. Number 5 is the Gators.
Is this
let's
talking
see.
about who people got out of the transfer portal? Maybe.
6 is Georgia.
This sounds kind of like it might be a list for like portal.
It may be what you're talking about. They got 7 Aggies.
Yeah, I'm
They got us
thinking.
8. They got us 8.
I think it
Yeah,
might be. Maybe it sounds like it could be portal additions.
Hold on a second. Let's see what it's on ESPN. Let's see what this says up the top. Let me scroll back up here real quick. What this is, but I think it is what you're talking about.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be portal additions if I had to guess. But I'll definitely dive into it. We gotta get out of here and make room for Mike coming up next. But I'm gonna look and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
It's Power 4 football ESPN.
Okay.
Rankings of upcoming recruits, I think.
Okay.
Well, that's
yeah.
good. Anytime they can rate us out of the top 5, I love it.
Well, I'll look into it, man. And nothing wrong being an underdog. I definitely
thanks for letting me talk.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bryce.
Power rankings.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into it. Bryce, we appreciate you, man. Take it easy. Good deal. All right, that'll do it for us on this edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time.